Hello again, everybody. This is Janelle. That's what I like to call myself now. It's still a derivative of my name, but it's a spelling that I hope to use sometime. Like literally, legally change my name to Janelle instead of Janet. Great. Now I got a freaking alfalfa hair sticking up. Um, okay. I just did a review of my very first YouTube live stream about 2 years ago. Only had 5 views because my guess is the reason it had 5 views at that time was because I only had 5 subscribers. Now I've only got 7. So, that's only 2 more than 2 years ago. I decided to let this video be for anyone, but again, I always ask at the beginning of my videos. I don't always remember to. And no, I didn't cut my hair. It's just up because it's really hot outside and we don't have any AC in the front room. Long, horrible story. Anyway, no trolls, please. No haters. No skeptics. No, oh, this is boring, so I'm not going to like your video. Okay, fine. Then don't like my video and just please quietly go away. Um, I'm not here to please everybody, or in fact, not to please anybody. I'm just sharing my life experiences that some will like and enjoy and benefit from, and hopefully learn to not make certain mistakes, because by sharing my own mistakes with people, I'm hoping that I will keep them from making, mistakes. It's like, you got to think things through. You got to be more careful. There's a lot of crazy people out there. I'm not one of them. So I don't want any of them to find their way to my YouTube channel and then give me a bunch of ruckus and anger me, trigger my rage, and then I get kicked off YouTube because I cuss them out like so much that would make a sailor blush. I'm being real. I'm not BSing. But on the gooder note, so only friendly visitors, please. Like my video, make a positive comment about it. Join, subscribe if you feel that you want to. I greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry that there really hasn't been any paranormal investigations that I've been able to put on here yet, but I'm working on it. It's just, like I said, there's just resources and money needed to do something like a paranormal investigation that I don't have. Like, for instance, my money's gone till the end of this month when my check gets loaded again. So, but anyway, so I was watching my first YouTube video live stream, watched it all the way through, kept the volume down as low as it would go because Chris was laying down trying to rest. So I didn't want that, this being a distraction. Go ahead and set this here. There you go. Nice cleavage shot for you. Ooh, boob shot. At least I'm covered. I'm not sitting here topless, and ain't gonna happen, so don't ask. I was talking about, I will simply refer to him as David C. And if you want to know who I'm speaking of, you'll have to go back to the very bottom of my list on this channel, this channel of mine, and watch the video yourself, and then you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, which you'll probably know when I describe some other things anyway. But I decided to do some more David stories, kind of come full circle. I didn't even count how many videos, but I also found it interesting before I start the David stories that the video in this, the live stream of mine in this particular account of mine, the one that got the most views, and I don't know why this is. I don't know who viewed it. I don't know how to check that stuff. Because I was just curious. It's like 21 views. Why? Who? What the heck? Show me some love for sure. but it was how me and Chris met. And I looked through the rest of my videos. Some there was like 12 views of. I think one was 16. I did. But anyway, the one that was 12 views, that one was disturbing because it was about the whole Gouzion fiasco that I did couple year or two ago, whatever, and almost took a bunch of innocents with me and so on and so forth. You'll have to go find that video for yourself. Just look for the summoning of Gouzion. It should be on one of them. Because there's more than one. I'll just put it that way. So another David story. First, let me say that when I watched that live stream, it made me happy. It made me smile again and made me the kind of happy that I haven't felt in 14 years. If you guys, because I don't know like how much I spoke of this person on other live streams, because I only watched the first one and it was over an hour long. So I wanted to do this one while it was fresh in my mind to do so. And I've got many of them. I was crushing on David, like really, 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 really majorly hard. Back when I was in my, I think it was between my 20s and 30s. I don't know. Like the event that I spoke of in the first live stream was a show of his that I attended. And the fact that I got called up on stage, and so did my friend, George, who went there with me that night. He was my date. And then my two friends, Mike and Sue, they got tickets in the same row as me and George, which blew my mind. And just, there was a lot of, like I said, there was a lot of backstories. And when I watched that video, I realized, I never told any of the backstories. But, that one's only had 2 views. So I'm like, I mean, should I or shouldn't I? Because I've only got 7 followers right now, and I don't know when they're on. I don't know when they're available, when, any of my videos they've watched, like Wolf Paranormal. I finally saw like one of their investigations, I think all the way through or almost all the way through, but it was too distracting because I was trying to watch it. My friend Maria came upstairs, and then it's like, you got to explain everything to her. You got to, why would he do that? Or why would somebody, it's like, Maria, there's no why necessarily. It's like, it's inexcusable, period. A young boy lost his life, and that's just horrific in itself. But you have to explain everything to her like a child. Like, it's very annoying. I love her to bits, but it's very annoying. It's very difficult because I don't really have the patience for it. I try, but there's times when I just can't be around her for a week or so because she just drives me up a fucking wall and back down again. I know that's harsh, to say, but it's the truth. And I could never say that to her because then it would hurt her and ruin our friendship. And I don't want to do that either. So it's difficult for me because of the stroke that she suffered and everything, and how it's recalibrated her brain and her conception of stuff. And again, Pagan Mix. I say that every video because I want people to know, because I don't know who might watch these. By some miracle, if some people watch it that, aren't followers of mine, then, I don't want no crap because I'm not doing anything wrong. And I know I say that all the time too. And I repeat myself with that mostly because of the trolls out there that like to come and hurt you and just do all kinds of manner of bad things. Okay, so another David story. Let me think here. I've got so many. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's probably like in his 60s or so by now. Pretty much has lost a lot of his looks. He has a receding hairline, and I don't even want to know what chick he's dating right now because I just don't care. That situation really hurt me. It really messed me up, and it took me a long time to climb out of it and get over him. But when I went to that last show, dressed to the nines in the most beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous model fashion that I could. And I had the body at the time still. I wasn't this heavy. And he just brushed me off and basically ignored me and just didn't even acknowledge me at all. And he was talking to some other people that were standing there. But I forget exactly what happened, and he had to end up walking off the stage or something. So I didn't even get so much as a chance to say hi to him, which was odd to me because I was expecting something, I guess, that didn't happen. I was expecting him to lock eyes with me and go, "Oh my God, Janet, hi," and then say, "Give me a few minutes, stay here, don't leave, just sit down there in the front row, let me take care of these guys, and then I'll talk to you a minute, okay?" That's all I wanted, really, truly. I just a moment of the man's time, a handful of minutes, 5-10 minutes, whatever he could spare, because I know that they were packing up, and then he wanted to go back to the hotel, and he probably wanted to get some dinner, and I didn't know what his plans were. It was none of my business. It was not my place to ask. But back then, I don't know about now. I don't know if he ever got away from Claudia, but back then he was still struggling with her. Their marriage wasn't going well, and she was a model, I guess, or something. I would never want to see any pictures of her because I would just print it up and throw darts at it all day. She was a real fucking bitch, from what I heard, which sadly tends to be the way a lot of women are, especially celebrities, because they get full of themselves. They get stuck on themselves. They think there's some goddess that should be bowed down and worshipped. And when they don't get that bowed down and worshipped, then they get on everybody's case. Or they let people know, how dare you not worship me or acknowledge me or whatever. So she was a bitch. I felt so bad for the guy, but the dark side of me said the bastard deserves it. Because, he had money, he had looks, he had fame. He had everything that a woman could possibly desire, especially someone that had no fame or anything of their own, which I don't have any fame or anything that I'm aware of. I'm just another YouTube vlogger, y'all. That's all I know. That's all I am. But that really hurt me that night, the way he treated me, or basically acted like I wasn't even there. And I had dressed up really nice in a blue and white sequins outfit for him. I had my hair done real nice. I was wearing heels. I mean, that's the best I've ever dressed to one of his shows, because I was expecting something to happen that just didn't. And I'll never know why. So after that, I thought, you know what? I need to wake up to reality here. David's never going to be mine. He's never going to be in my life. He's with this bitch, Claudia. And then if he manages to survive her somehow and get away from her, good for you, dude. Stay single. It's easier. Trust me. I'm not single myself, but there's times when I wish I was, because I'm really not happy in my relationship still. And watch my other videos if you want to know some of the reasons why, especially the toxic relationships one. That'll pretty much clue you in. So David really hurt me, especially with all the beautiful things and moments that he and I shared together, the mystical experiences, if you will, or whatever, where, how did he know my friend? How did he just turn around and go, "Oh, hi, Sue." If I would have been there, my eyes would have got like big and probably fallen out of my head, and I probably would have fainted to the floor. Hang on. Somebody's getting a package. I wish it was me. So anyway, so I'm like, after that, I was just like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I need to come back to reality here. He's never going to be mine. It was just a dream. And I know I'm not the only one that has felt this way. I'm sure there's other women out there that have felt far worse. And they, they can do any manner of evil to anybody. So he made his choice, he made his bed. He needs to lay in it. And I I don't even know that I would even want to see a picture of him. I thought about maybe going to his fan club and see if it's still even in existence, but I'm not going to invest any more of my time or money in him because for a long time, I believed that David was a really great guy and he was a really nice, he really cared about his fans. And, I'm not saying he doesn't, but there were other things in him that I sensed, that I felt, that just made me think, oh, this was just a big, big, bad waste of time idea that I should have known better. I should have, but that's what fantasy worlds do to you. They're so real. And these experiences were definitely real, but then we tend to develop expectations of certain things to happen. And then when they don't, you're like, what the F? What the F? I don't get it. I mean, if we had all these experiences, why does he not acknowledge me now? Why does he not even so much as notice me? Won't give me 5-minute conversation with him just so I can say, can you just please tell me that this stuff really happened? This is for real. I'm not crazy. And that you and I do have something between us, but we're probably never going to be able to do anything about it because as far as I know, you're still with Claudia. I mean, so I walked away very, very disgruntled that night. But like one of my experiences, one of my David stories is about when I joined his fan club. So I joined his fan club, and I mean, yeah, of course, I'm going to go with the cheapest, package they will allow because, I mean, I wasn't pooping $100 bills then. I'm not pooping $100 bills now. So nothing's really changed financially. I don't have the money, to invest, and because of how badly that hurt me, that whole thing, and then just to be like basically treated like I didn't even exist. That was just it for me. That was the final straw. And I said, never again, never again, never again. So the next time somebody came along, and I'll get into some of those stories maybe, but I don't know how long Chris is going to be gone. And I'm hoping he'll be gone long enough for me to do a decent amount, but I'll probably have to wait and do another live stream later in another location. I know Christine, my next door neighbor, she said, anytime you want to live stream, just come down to my place. Okay, sweetie, I appreciate that. That's awesome, but you're not always going to be there. What are you going to do? Give me a key to your place? Just because Maria has doesn't mean I expect you or anybody else to. And I'm still shocked that Maria ever did that. So anyway. I think I'm going to call this my Janet's Wizard Blend. Because the three herbs that I've mentioned that you combine to make this mix, they all have magical properties. So, anyway, so I was in the fan club. I don't even remember the type of stuff I got. Really, I probably threw it all away, knowing me. But at one point, some of the neat things that happened during that was he sent me a poster, a big, big ass poster of him that I don't recall ordering. And I was like, okay. Or maybe I was still in my, oh, he loves me fantasy world. But then there was other things, like he sent me a postcard one time that was black. It was a black and white of him. He was standing with his feet kind of wide apart. I think he had either his hands on his hips or had him in his jacket pocket or something, and he had his head turned to the side. Fucking, oh my God. It was a really good picture of him. And I loved it because I think he was wearing all fucking leather, and he knew what that did to me, because I'm one of those chicks that I love it if my man wears leather. I mean, granted, I don't expect you to wear it all the time, but once in a while, very sexy, very, oh yeah, I would love it. So he sent me this postcard, and he signed the entire, he signed it so big on the front that I thought, oh, how sweet. But he tend to focus in the crotch area, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, typical Virgo, but in typical guy, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so some other mystical that happened. Let's see. Because I guess that wasn't really mystical, but Okay, there was this one time a friend of mine, her name's Karen. I won't give her last name again because one, I don't know where she is. I've lost touch with her. I haven't heard from her in years. Don't even know. And two, I don't know if I would have to ask her permission to use her name in a video. Because, I mean, it's nothing bad. It was an experience that she had when she went to a David show. So she was in line, I guess, or something, waiting for a ticket waiting to get her turn so she could buy her ticket. And there was a lot of people in front of her. There was a long line. So she's like, oh my God, this is taking forever. And she's like, oh my God, the show's already started. He didn't start okay. So she's standing there, she's getting anxious. She's thinking, oh man, it's going to start any minute. And all these people are in front of me. And then she heard crystal clear, as if he was standing either right behind her or right next to her. So apparently David's pretty good at astral projection. Because astral projection, you're not always going to see. You have to have the ability to see like I do, magically, and then you might see an apparition. But usually it takes a lot of energy to manifest in a way where you could literally see. It would look like he was standing there solid right behind you. And he's like, oh, good, you're here. So she's like kind of startled, like, where the fuck, and she's looking around because she thought somebody was behind her or something, like, what? And no, nobody was acknowledging her or nothing. And so I think she said they had her and David had a brief telepathic communication of sorts. And then when she purchased her ticket, finally got to purchase her ticket and sat down, David delayed the show until she sat down. It didn't matter who sat down after her or anything like that. He delayed it until she sat down in her seat because he didn't want her to miss a second of it. Now, some of the backstory with Karen is that she is a sister of Ken. And yes, the Ken that I mentioned in the first live stream, and, that I wrote his name on a box along with David's, and yeah, that Ken. So Karen is a sister of his. She's a Taurus. Love her to bits. Her and I were very, very close, like this, like sisters, like inseparable for a long time, many years. But then things happened and it just went kind of wrong. But she told me, she's like, oh my God, Janet, it was him. It was really him. I'm like, oh, wow. Isn't that just the coolest? I was on cloud 9. I didn't want to come down, who would in their right mind, right? But anyway, that was just a brief one. I just wanted to get on here and I'll try to touch on, more of them later because it's been so long. I'll have to sit back and really think, what other ones that would be prominent because they're mystical or magical in some fashion. So Krista's back. So I'm going to end this for now and hopefully I'll be on here again soon. Blessed be y'all. Peace.